Okay, we are going to do an instructional video on writing functions from real-world problems. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is Jill opened a bank account with $100 she received for her 14th birthday. To help her save a card, Jill decides to deposit $10 of her allowance each week. Okay, so her account balance depends on number of weeks. And I say that because if she adds $10 for the first week, it's $10. If it's 2 weeks, it's $20. So it keeps increasing as she keeps on adding more money. So the dependent variable, which she starts with, is the account balance. And the independent variable, which changes, is the number of weeks. Okay, so now we're going to write a function. Balance for B, W for weeks, equals 100 plus 10 times weeks. Now, we want to know how much money she has after 23 weeks. So the weeks becomes 23. We just substitute it into the equation. And so wherever the W was, we put in 23. So B times 23 equals 100 plus 10 times 230. 10 times 23 is 230. And so the total would be 330. So now we have the numerical answer. In weeks, we're going to turn around the statement. How much money will Jill have after 23 weeks? Jill will have $330. Jill will have $330 after 23 weeks. So now we have the solution numerically and in written language, okay? So now we have the next one. If Jill wants to buy a car that requires $1,000 down payment, how many weeks will she need to save? So we know we need a total of 1,000. We know that she started with $100 as above. We know she puts in $10 a week, but we don't know how much she puts in. So now we're going to solve it. So we're going to get rid of the constant on both sides. So we subtract 100. So 900 equals 10W. So here it's 10 times W. So we're going to divide by 10 on both sides. So 90 equals W. So it's going to take her 90 weeks. So it will take Jill 90 weeks to save $1,000. Okay, so now we have it in numerical and we have it in written language. Now I want you to take and see, there's 2 more problems as you flip it over, okay? And we will go over that in a few minutes. I would like you to try and solve these on your own, and I'll be back in a few. Okay, now let's go to the next one. I'm going to see if I can just clear this a little bit. Okay, so Bob is driving home from his vacation to see the Grand Canyon. He stops to check his map, and he noticed that he is 320 miles from home. He calculates that he should be able to cover 60 miles of road each hour on his journey home. So miles from home depends on hours from home, okay? So to make it a little bit clear, I'm going to put miles from home up here and hours up here. And that means the more hours away means he's more miles away, and the more hours he puts in, the closer to home he gets. Because remember, the independent variable changes the dependent variable, okay? So here we have the function notation is miles home, or miles hours, excuse me, hours, equals 320 minus 60 hours, minus 60 hours, H. So how far from home will Bob be after 2.5 hours? So we're going to put 2.5, because that's the hours, equals 300 minus 60 times 2.5. Miles, 2.5, equals 320 minus 60 times 2.5 is 150. So M times 2.5 equals 170 miles. So Bob will be 170 miles from home after 2.5 hours. Okay? Now the next one, how long will it take Bob to reach his house? So we know that it's 320 miles from home, and we know that he goes 60 miles per hour. So here we have the equation, 60 times, so we have to divide both sides by 60. So this gives us 5.3 equals H. So this means it will take Bob 5.3 hours to reach his house. Okay? Now remember, you can pause it, wind back, and get the answers if you don't have them. And remember, if you have any questions or you don't understand how we're getting the answers, please let us know. Right, so the last one is Marissa. Marissa decides to offer babysitting service to local families as a means to earn money to buy Christmas presents for her family. She decides to charge a flat fee of $15 and plus $14 per hour. So her earnings depends on hours. The dependent variable is earnings, and the independent variable is hours. Because again, if you keep changing the hours, the earnings will go up. Okay? So now we're going to have earnings, hour, equals 15, because that's her flat fee, plus $4 per hour. Okay? So then we go down to the actual question. Let's see if I can make this E a little bit clearer. Okay, so then we go down here. So E, we're going to place the 3 because that's the hours. And then we're going to go 15 plus 4. So E equal for 3 hours equals 15 plus, what's 4 times 3 is 12. So 15 plus 12. So E3 equals 27. So Marissa will make $27 from babysitting 3 hours. Okay? Then the last question we have is, it says the Smith family owes Marissa $29. So she made $29. So that's the first part. We know her flat fee is $15 plus $4 per hour. So we're going to solve this equation. So we're going to get rid of the constants. This is addition, so I'm going to do the inverse, which is subtraction. These cross out and it becomes 4H. Then we're going to divide both sides by 4. That goes out here. 14 divided by 4 is 3.5 equals H. So that means Marissa babysat the children 3.5